Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. In this session, I shall be explaining you the functionality of another application layer protocol called as email, electronic mail. Let us see how this email works in the internet. Most of us or all of us are familiar with this application. We have been using this application every day, almost every day, and we will be using in future also. So we should know that how our email, whatever we are sending, composing an email and sending to our to another person, how it is traveling in the internet and it is reaching the other person. All these days I am telling that application layer protocols works in the client server paradigm. Definitely a client is there, a server is there, the client sends the request, the server responds, fine. That means the server has to run all the time to see if there is a particular request that is coming from the client. So from the sender side you have client and from the receiver side you have the server. But electronic email works in a slightly different manner. The sender is a user, it is a client, and the receiver is also another user, it is a client. So, but still we say the electronic email also follows which functionality? Client server functionality. So how to make this client server functionality happens in this architecture, in this particular functionality is between these two clients, the sender client and the receiver client, we should have what? Different types of client and server pairs. Then only this client server paradigm functionality is possible even in the email, okay, in this application electronic email. Let us see the architecture for the electronic email. Look at this diagram. So I have shown here a diagram wherein the sender is Alice. Alice wants to send a message to another person and that person name is Bob. So both these users are connected to their mail servers. So I mean to say here, if Alice wants to send a message to send an email to Bob, Alice is using, let us assume that Alice is using a Gmail account, so it will be connected to the Gmail server. And if Bob is using a Yahoo account, then it is connected to the Yahoo server. So here I wanted to show you that this is the client and the related server to this particular domain, and this is the recipient Bob and the server related to that domain. If Alice is using an address called as bob@yahoo.com, so this is the Yahoo server then. Okay, the other side, which is the server, Bob is connected to Yahoo server because the domain name here is yahoo.com. And always remember, email address will have two parts. The first part is called as the local part and the second part is called as the domain name. See, the local part is normally what? It is the name given to the mailbox. Every user will have a mailbox, okay, in the server, and the name of the mailbox is what? The local part. And then you will have what? The domain name. So in whichever domain you have created your account, it will be always used in the email address. Now let us see how the mail travels from the Alice to the Bob. Totally there are 9 steps here. So in this 9 steps, finally the mail reaches the recipient. Look at here. First, what are the different programs that are needed? This is the system Alice. As I said, even though a client is sending a message and the recipient is also a client, and we are saying that all application layer protocols work in the client server paradigm, definitely this is not possible when the receiver is also a client, because see, Bob cannot always run its system to check whether it is receiving an email from any other user or Alice, isn't it? So whenever it wants to run a client program or whenever it is interested, it may try to open or it may try to run its client program. But in client server paradigm, the server has to run all the time. That's the reason in email, since the recipient cannot run the system all the time, in between these two clients, we should have what? The client and the server pairs. And we'll see how this client and server pairs are helping this email to reach to the other side, that is to the recipient side, the mail. So the Alice is here. Alice has got a program called in its system user agent. So this is the program which is helping us to compose a mail, to reply a mail, to forward a mail. All of us are using, we compose a mail, we try to reply to a particular mail, we forward an email. There are so many other functions that are possible. So that is all because of what? The user agent program. And this mail which starts from here, from the Alice system, MTA client is another program which is needed to send that mail to the mail server. The mail server here, suppose if Alice is having an account in the Gmail, then this is the Gmail server here. So this MTA client will send that mail to the MTA server. And once again you look here, this mail server is what is having two programs. One is the server program and another is the client program. But now you have to relate it in this manner. This is the client. Let me use the different ink colors to show the pairs. See, this is one pair, client, and here is the server. So this pair I am telling, this is one pair, client to server. Then in the mail server at Alice side, you have the MTA client. Once again, this program is needed to send the mail to the destination server. Over the internet, the mail is sent from the client to the server. So you can see this MTA client and MTA server. This is another pair. This is another pair. Then from at the receiver side, at the destination server, you have MAA server and MAA client. That is called as message access agent client and message access server. So this is another pair. Okay, I can write here like this. So this is one pair. This is another pair here. Fine. This is another. That means the complete architecture requires one pair of user agent. User agent should be there at the Alice side. User agent should be there. That program should be present in the Bob's machine also. So one pair of user agent is required. And two pairs of what? MTA message transfer agent, client and server. Two pairs, client and server. So which are the two pairs? One pair is here, MTA client and MTA server. Another pair is here, MTA client and MTA server. Then you require one pair of message access agent, that is also what? The client and the server program. So that is here. So totally these programs are needed here in electronic email. Now you have to see that if MTA client and MTA server, this pair is there, this is actually a part of a protocol. So that protocol is called as SMTP. SMTP is the protocol. Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. So this protocol is what? Is having a pair of client program and the server program, and this protocol will definitely what? Here also you can see MTA client and MTA server. So this protocol comes into picture between what? Between the two servers also. Fine, the sender server side and the destination server. So this SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, is a push protocol. It is used to send, it is used to push the email. So first time it will push the email from the Alice system to the local server, that is the server to which it is having, that is I mean to say the mail server of the Alice. Then second time it pushed the mail from what? From the mail server of Alice to the mail server of the Bob. So twice this protocol comes into picture in the architecture. Now as you know that the server side, that is at the recipient side, the client cannot run the system all the time to see whether any mail has come. For that reason, the other side of the functionality requires a pull program. You have seen push programs here, push protocols here, but the other side requires what? The pull program, that is the pull protocol. So from here, see the mail server, the mail has reached to the email has reached to what? To the server at the Bob side. This server is placing what? Is placing all the mails in the mailboxes that are meant for each of the user. Now comes what? The role of the another protocol called as the POP protocol or IMAP. Two possible pull protocols are there. One is the POP, Post Office Protocol version 3, and another one is Internet Mail Access Protocol version 4. It is IMAP. So here you can just write down either POP3 or IMAP version 4. Hope you people are getting the point. Wherever push operation is needed, SMTP protocol comes into picture. Wherever pull operation is needed, POP3 or IMAP version 4 protocol comes into picture. So that's how the mail is present here. Actually, the administrator has created a mailbox for each of the user. It is there. When the Bob opens the system, it can download the mail. That time only this particular protocol, which is that POP or IMAP, comes into picture to make that email available at what? Available at the Bob side. And you can see that here is the client and here is the server. So client pulls the program, pulls the mail Okay, client is requesting to the server to send the message, to send the email, so that it will what? It will send that mail to the Bob's machine. To give an analogy here, if a person in Bangalore wants to send a letter to a person in Chennai, what does it do? Simply the letter, if this is the letter goes to the letter box or the post office, you can say, at which place? At Bangalore, and this post office will send to the post office at Chennai, and this mail is, or this letter is sent to the other person. Letter from A, he goes to letter to B. So the letter has traveled from that person to the post office at Bangalore. The Bangalore office will take care that it is sending the letter to the post office at Chennai. Then the post office at Chennai will deliver that letter to the person B. So this, if you see this diagram and compare this here with the architecture of email, it looks similar. Similar is what? Similar functionality is happening here also with us in the internet whenever we try to send a mail to any other person. So here basically you have to talk about these two protocols that are there in this architecture, not two, actually three protocols. SMTP is one, okay, which is the push protocol. It always works in what? The client and the server pairs. Client and server client and server programs are needed for the SMTP to work, whereas you have the POP3 or IMAP version 4 for the other pull program. Now just see the difference between the POP3 and IMAP4. POP3 is a simple protocol with very limited functionality. So I just wanted to show you the points that are there for the POP3 and IMAP, or you can say the difference also. Difference between the POP3 and IMAP4. Actually IMAP4 is having more functionality, and it whatever is the present requirement for a user when it sees a mail from any other user in the inbox, which are the possible functionalities a user feel it is convenient to do, all that is provided by IMAP4. So what are those functionality? It can check the email header prior to downloading. That is definitely possible. Before downloading, you will read the header of that email. If you are interested, you will download that email, otherwise you will not. And IMAP will also make you what? Search an email with a string. If you have thousands of emails, if you want to search a particular email, you can always select what? Either the subject name or the sender's name. With one particular string, you can search an email here in the. At the same time, whatever features I am telling here for IMAP4, okay, is not possible in POP3. So when the differences are asked between POP3 and IMAP4, you can always negate these what? Negate these features and write for POP3. And partially download an email. You can always what? Need not download what? The complete content of the email. You have that feature wherein you can just partially download an email. Create, delete or rename mailboxes on the server. Mailboxes on the server in essence folders. So you can create your own folders. You can put all emails coming from one particular department in one folder, emails coming from your particular friend in another, from a bank. So all those things, you have that convenience to create folders and put all the emails there. So you can create folders, subfolders. Copy remains in the server after the downloading. So here you can see that all the emails that are present in the server, okay, still even after downloading on your device, you have a copy in the server. So with this features, whatever I have explained now for POP3 and IMAP4, you can very well guess which protocol is there presently in your email system, whether it is Yahoo, Gmail or any other account which you have, in which you have an email account, whether the pull program used is POP3 or IMAP4. Okay, with these features it is very easy for you to find out which protocol is used as a pull program in the email architecture. To add to the features of IMAP4, you can also create a hierarchy of email boxes, of mailboxes in the folder in what? In IMAP4. So these are definitely convenient. Can check email header prior to downloading. You can search an email with a string. You can partially download an email. whenever you have a limited bandwidth and the email contains what lot of multimedia which requires more bandwidth, then definitely this partially downloading email facility will help. You can create, delete or rename email boxes on the server, and still the copy of whatever you have downloaded remains in the server. You can create a hierarchy of mailboxes in the server. So these are the different features of what IMAP4. So in summary, email architecture consist of what? These different programs, and basically all these programs are what? The different protocols. 3 protocols are there. SMTP is the one which is a push program or a push protocol, whereas you have the other type of protocols, either POP3 or IMAP4 can be used. It is a pull program. So hope this explanation is clear to you all. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.